The state of Washington relies on federal funding to support organizations that help survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. But this year, that federal funding is much less, which is why nonprofits are calling on the state to step up right now.
King 5's Connor Board joins us in the newsroom with more on this story. Connor, so what happens if these groups do not receive the funding they're asking for from the state?
Nonprofits I spoke with say without the additional funding approved in the state budget, the impacts will be detrimental. There was originally no additional funding for services for survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault included in the governor's budget this year. And this comes as federal funding is down by $25 million. For the state budget for the next 2 years, the groups had asked for $65 million in funding per year, and their efforts have been working. The current proposed budgets show $30 million per year in the Senate budget, which would be ongoing funding. And the proposed budget for the House includes $24 million for these services, which would mostly be one-time funding to supplement the federal cuts. The King County Sexual Assault Resource Center says they have seen a more than 20% increase in clients since 2017. But as they serve more survivors of sexual assault, they say state funding has stayed static for over a decade. The CEO of the center says the state has relied on federal funding for too long, and the state lawmakers need to make a commitment to fund these necessary services.
We've been talking to colleagues across the state who are looking at, seeing 38%, 40% cuts in their funding, which definitely translates into hundreds of victims, most often children and teens, who are not going to get services.
The nonprofits that have been advocating for more funding say this will not allow them to expand services, but will just allow them to keep serving survivors and paying staff. The state budget has to be voted on by April 23rd. In the newsroom, Connor Board, King 5 News.